Shalom. My name is Dr. Craig Goodman. I'm a clinical psychologist and I'm a neuroscientist. I'm here today at Hidabrut, continuing my series that they've been so graciously forthcoming and allowing me to film this series called Torah and Judaism, or Nefesh Adam in Hebrew. The whole goal or purpose of these videos are to help people to incorporate their Torah learning, the Torah values, the wisdom, and the amazing infinite things that are hidden and encompassed in the Torah, and allow us to utilize those things in a more humanistic and a psychological manner in order to enhance our lives, enhance our perception, enhance our happiness. Recently, I was searching through the net, and I just decided I'm going to look for just various random phrases. And I decided, you know what? Let's search for the meaning of life. I was very surprised all the different things I came up with on the web results on the search page. But if you come to think about it, what really is the meaning of life? According to the Torah, according to psychology, according to the world today, the modern world that we're living in today, the world where we're living as modern Jews in a modern world. Here I am talking to you on satellite or on internet or on video. I mean, all these things were created to allow us to communicate. In fact, I had a teacher by the name of Ami Markel. I learned many years with him, Tanya, in Los Angeles. Brilliant Rav. And he always used to say, why did Hashem allow us the knowledge to create all this technology, like CNN and Fox News and the internet and satellite systems? It's all in order to facilitate our communication as a globe, as a people, as a planet. That when the Messiah comes, when the Mashiach comes, everyone will know simultaneously, instantaneously. It'll be on the headlines in CNN and Fox News. Attention, Messiah has arrived. I don't know how it will be. It'll definitely be more exciting than the halftime at the Super Bowl. But we don't know how it's going to happen. But in the meantime, what is the purpose of Atid Lavo? What is the purpose of our lives? In a previous discussion, I talked about the A's and B's of being a person, of being a human being. That really the Torah starts with the letter Bet, Bereshit, that the entire Torah can be condensed into the letter Bet, and that really stands for Bina and Bria, for knowledge and for creation. But what comes before B is A, or what comes before Bet is Aleph. Aleph, Bet, Alpha, Beta. And without the Aleph, which designates Echad, one, Hashem, without that Aleph, there is no Bet. It's a pair, it's a Zug, it's a Shidduch. And that's why Hashem needed a covenant with a special people, a light into the nations. Not necessarily to be better than anybody else, but to be judged by a higher standard, to have been given tools and knowledge and incredible amounts of holiness in order to complete our purpose in creation, to be a light among the nations, to be representatives, to be PR for Hashem. What did Abraham do? Our father Abraham used to always teach people about Hashem. Anybody who came in, why did he want always to host people and have guests? Why did he want this, bringing in these people into his home all the time? He was always looking for the opportunity to teach them about the greatness of Hashem. And his greatness was that he realized, when no one else around him thought that way, that there is only one God, to differentiate from idolatry. he was the first one. And from that incredible realization, he merited becoming the father of the Jewish nation, of the nation of Israel. And it took 10 generations from Adam, from the first person, Adam and Eve, until Noah. Those 10 generations didn't get it right, so Hashem wiped them out with the flood. Then from 10 generations from Noah, it was 10 generations up to Abraham. Now obviously, I don't know, I haven't figured out the math yet, but I figure they were already in our 10th generation, or at least well past it. Don't you think it's time that we start realizing what's our purpose? So what is it? When Hashem originally created the world, he created something called a tzimtzum, where he removed himself. He kind of shrunk himself. He hid himself from the physical world. And he allowed himself to remain hidden, but to exist within everything. And he gave us these tools and this knowledge and this capacity to be independent, free-thinking individuals, human beings with knowledge, intelligence, and free will. And we have to choose what we do with this free will, with this time, with this knowledge, with these tools. How we use our lives. What do we do with our lives? How do we make use of these gifts and this precious time that we're given in this life? Well, it's to realize that there is Hashem. The entire purpose of humanity is to realize, all of us, as a species, as a global planet, to realize that Hashem is one. There is no other. That the entire creation, there is a master of the universe. He created the whole universe. And a whole purpose of creating that universe was that he could give us a place to earn merit, and on our own, through our own devices, through our own merit, recognize that he is here, that Hashem exists. Now, according to the Kabbalists, according to the Zohar, originally when he created the world, the universe, he created all the souls, or what was originally one giant soul that comprises all the souls. And they said that one soul was originally then put into Adam, and all the souls of the world that have ever lived within the various reincarnations were derivatives from that one original soul of Adam, Rishon, the first man. Now, when Hashem created this energy, this soul, he gave and gave and gave, without end. He gave unthinkingly, unselfishly. He kept trying to pour goodness and love and happiness and joy into this soul. It was like a kli. But the problem is that when Hashem put all this energy, all these attributes of these amazing attributes that he had into this energy, into this soul started taking on those same attributes. Hashem cannot put himself into us, his soul, or a part of him into us, which is our soul, without us being in the image of Hashem. We're all created in the image of Hashem. Tselem Elokim, as they say, in the shade of Hashem, in the image of him, in the dmut, the image, we resemble Hashem, not only physically, but spiritually, in terms of our emotions, in terms of our feelings, in terms of our thoughts. Those resemble Hashem. Now, Hashem put this in, but one of his attributes was the attribute of kindness, of giving, of chesed. And all he was doing was giving to us, but we weren't able to give back. And once you make us, or you put something into us from Hashem, we become like Hashem. It's like you take a cold coffee mug, and you pour hot water into that cold mug. What happens to that mug? The mug becomes warm, becomes hot even. Could even burn your finger a little bit from the hot water inside. What happened to that vessel once you poured the hot water in? It changed the properties of the vessel. It changed its temperature. Now, once Hashem put those properties into us, it changed something in us, and we became like Hashem. And one of our attributes was the need to give, the need to do kindness, to have mercy. These were attributes of Him, of Hashem. So we couldn't stay integrated and continue receiving without the ability to give back. So we literally, this soul shattered, and hence they created, Hashem created, all the souls from that, and that's where we are now today. We're all a result of that. We're all part of that. Now, what are we going to do with all this? With what He's given us, what He's created us? In addition to not only that, and in addition to this body and to this soul, He's given us power. We've talked about this in previous lectures, that according to the tractate in Gemara, Makot, on Amud Daf Yud Amud Bet, the 10th page, on the second side of the page, it talks about the sentence, every path a person wants to take, he will be led. Or whichever path a person wants to take, he will be led. But what the Maharsha gives in terms of his commentary is that this means that every time we say something or think something or do something, we create angels. And we're creating these angels all the time, for good or for bad. These angels are going out all around us. They can either open up the path, or they can block the path, okay? Now, we have this power, each and every person. How we think literally creates spiritual energy in the world. It can literally have an impact on people. Now, it's well known that similar to this, there's a lot of scientists or pseudoscientists that talk about something called morphogenic fields or morphogenic energy. And they say that there is this certain energy field that exists and is created from all living life. And this field exists within the earth, and it can influence, for good and for worse, everything that lives around it. We create this field. Well, in other words, this morphogenic field is really just the angels or the energy that and the Shekhinah that Hashem has created and set up in our system. Now, we have all these abilities. We can create angels, we can create thoughts, we can do things. Our bodies are created. We have 248 intestines and 365 sinews in our body that reflect or are parallel to the 248 positive commandments in the Torah and the 365 negative commandments from total of 613 commandments. So literally when you say Shema Yisrael, which has 248 words in it, you're saying my whole body has been created to serve you, Hashem. But how do I get close to Hashem? Here's the big secret. How am I supposed to get close to Him? The secret to get close to Him is first be good to one another. First, be able to get close to yourself and be able to get close to others. Now, you may try and do that by looking at the good in other people and not looking at the bad, trying to judge them positively and think or only pay attention to the good things that you see. And at the same time, do the same for yourself. If we learn how to really love one another without conditions, we learn how to respect one another, and even are willing to forego our own comfort sometimes to help one another out of pure desire to do a mitzvah, a good deed, out of an act of love, out of kindness, wholehearted kindness, then what happens then is we create this amazing energy all around us. And Hashem suddenly wants to be next to us. He wants to be close to us. Now, let's go into something a little more deeper. How can I get close to Hashem and recognize Hashem without energy? Can't do it. Just like a car needs gas, a person needs energy. A person needs strength, inner strength. Where does that inner strength come from? From Hashem. But He gives us many ways that we can exact that energy and withdraw that energy and utilize that energy, harness it. Now here's a big chidush that hopefully will spread on. What is the thing that we repeat over and over during the prayers? Well, this could be in the morning prayers, the afternoon prayers, the evening prayers, something that we always repeat over and over again. It's the Kaddish. It's written in Aramaic. There's a lot of secrets and a lot of holy things concerning the Kaddish. But first of all, the Shulchan Aruch teaches that the Kaddish is so holy that if you hear the Kaddish, even if you're in the middle of praying the Amidah, the Shmonais, the 18 blessings, you need to literally stop praying and listen. Ad yishtabach, until you say, Hey Shmei Rabbah Mivrach Olam Omeo Maya Yishtabach. Then you can continue praying. That's what the Shulchan Aruch says. That literally there's deot, there's opinions that if you're next to two minions that are praying, and one is saying Kaddishah and one is saying Kaddish, you should go into the one that's saying Kaddish. That's how holy it is. Now, why is it so holy? It says in the Gemara, in the tractate in the Gemara of Shabbat, in Kuf Yutet Amud Bet, it says there, Kol Adam Shomer Yehei Shmei Rabbah Im Kol Kocho Koreh Gzar Din Alav. What does that mean in English? Every person who says the Yehei Shmei Rabbah sentence in the Kaddish, which is what everybody answers, even if you're not a mourner or not a Shaliach Tzibur, you're not leading the prayers, you still have an opportunity at various points in the prayers, in the davening, to say Kaddish. Now, what it says is when the person that says Kaddish, Yehei Shmei Rabbah, with all their koach, with all their might or strength, will actually be able to rip up, to destroy a harsh judgment upon that person. That there was a harsh decree, an evil decree in Shemaim that was judged against that person, up against yourself. You say the Kaddish with all your heart, with your koach, you literally destroy that gzar din, that evil decree. You wipe it out, erase it. Now, where's this strength, this koach, comes from? If you look at the sentence, Yehei Shmei Rabbah, I read this originally from Rav Philip Birnbaum. He wrote this in the 1950s in a commentary on the Hebrew prayers in a prayer book, a daily prayer book. He wrote that Yehei Shmei Rabbah has 7 words. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Olam Omei Omaya, 7 words. And if you count the letters, there's 28 letters. What is 28? Chaf Chet. Chaf is 20, Chet is 8. 28. Chaf Chet is koach, strength. Now, where is that koach? Where is that strength coming from? It comes from the very first sentence or pasuk of the Torah. Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. 7 words, and if you count the letters, 28 letters. You are actually taking from the strength, from the koach, the power that Hashem used to create the entire physical universe, and to harness that koach, and to not only be able to elevate souls, but to bring all of us together, to wipe out all the evil decrees in the world against Israel and against Bnei Adam, against the nation of earth, the peoples of earth, the tribes of earth. And in fact, up until Yeshmei Rabbah, there's actually 28 words in the Kaddish up until that pasuk. And in addition to that, Kohelet, who's also known as Solomon, King Solomon, he wrote in the 3rd chapter from number 2 to number 8, from Bet to Chet, he wrote the in terms of in Kohelet, he wrote, there's a time for laughter, there's a time for crying, there's a time for peace, there's a time for war. All these times are basically listing out all the experiences of humans, of the human being on this earth that they can experience. And those experiences come out to be 28 experiences in Kohelet. Again, Koach. So may we all have strength and great koach, great energy to be able to come closer to one another and to Hashem and really complete our purpose of creation, of recognizing that everything comes from Him. Thank you.